All right, welcome back. You'll see them shortly anyway. The young birds are ranging and they're starting to come back. There they are. They've just been out for a bit of a range there, which is good to see. I think there's 10 out still. The rest have gone in, so I gave them a light little feed, and then the other ones are just playing at the moment. Touch wood, I've not seen a falcon yet, which is odd because I had them out yesterday, and I put 15 of my older ones out, the ones that have been flying really well. Falcon was straight onto him, absolutely onto him. And I flew the other two smaller groups after that, and no problems at all, which is interesting. Which the smaller group was the leftover of the old birds, and then the young birds at the back here. So very, very interesting. I was expecting one today because I did hear something in the distance, but I have not seen anything, which is strange. The one day that I'm sitting here expecting them, nothing happens. But who knows, these guys are still flapping around. Just trying to get as much time on the wing for these ones as I can. They're just having a little play. Right, so I think they're all in apart from that one. Come on! Come on, don't want to miss out. I don't think there's any more ranging. We might just have to do a bit of a head count. I have already fed like the first bunch that went in with a light feed, just to keep them all content, because the other ones just wanted to stay out. They wanted to go for a bit of a fly. And these are all on the depurative as well at the moment, just to try and keep them, try and get them in line a bit more. They're pretty good, these ones. Just these older ones on this other side. We got to try and get them as fit as possible, as soon as possible. They probably can do with a little bit more. I only gave them a light feed, because I'm going to change their drinkers out in a minute, because I let them out for a fly as well. And I had 15 out before, like I did yesterday, and try and lure the falcon in, well, not lure it in, but try and wear it out so I can get the other birds out for a fly. But it didn't really work. It didn't turn up today, which is so odd. It baffles me, because I'd done this because I thought he's going to be here, he's going to be ready for us, and he wasn't. So yeah, I don't know, just it's not as predictable as you would think, and he's very, very smart. So I don't know, it's just interesting. But these guys, where are we? We have moxidectin in the water. This is the final time before we start racing, because I do want to start tossing a lot of these birds. It's not so much tossing, it's I don't want to call it tossing, just because I can't loft fly at the moment. I want to try and get these birds a little bit of fitness in them. So I'm going to start aiming probably next weekend. We'll do the 1.5 kilometre tosses, which shouldn't be a problem for most of these guys. These are all old and pretty much on their last flight anyway. So we need to get that fitness into them before that season, because realistically we've got like 6 weeks before the first race. And yeah, I wish the racing season here was pushed back a couple more weeks, but unfortunately we seem to start racing pretty early here. But I've got a bit of confidence the birds will be able to do it, but yeah, we can only do what we can do, unfortunately. So we'll try and get all these birds as ready as possible, especially this older bunch. I don't know how we're going to go with them, but we'll definitely keep pushing them ones. We may look at putting them out to maybe just a 500 metre education release. That's what I want to call it, because it's not really a toss. Because we just got to get these guys moving. If we leave it too long, we're not going to get the birds out. Beautiful little hen, that one there. Just not going to get the fitness into them like I really wanted to, which is a bit sad, but we can only do what we can do. There's actually a few nice little hens in here. Hens are always something that I seem to struggle with. I just never breed enough of them, and there's never enough of them come breeding season, so it's definitely something we will need to work on for this season. The blacks are starting to molt out nice too. Hopefully these guys make it to the race this year. I'd really like to have one of the blacks that sort of make it through to the end of the season, and we might even get to breed off it. That would be ideal. But the birds are starting to shine up a bit too. Like, look how well this one is. He's pretty much fully molted. He might be just on his second last flight, but it looks of it, you can see it popping out. So he's pretty much done. You can just, I think you can just see that little flight coming through there. So I'd say he'd be done by the time the race season starts, which that's good. It's actually a beautiful cockbird too, that one. He's been chasing hens, which is good to see. But I'll get a little bit more food in here, and then we'll probably go over and have a look at some of the other birds. I'm actually surprised. The good thing is this season I split the tiger grizzles up and tried different pairs. And this little tiger grizzle hen, she's had the falcons on her tail 3 or 4 times now, and she just evades them. So I'm very happy that we're breeding smaller, faster tiger grizzles, because I think last year they were a little bit big, and yeah, I lost a few around the loft, and then the rest got lost in the training toss. The worst for us is between 10 and 20 kilometers. I don't know what it is, but that is where the birds get absolutely smashed for some reason. I don't know what's out there. It is all farmland and HV transmission lines, so I'd assume that there's quite a healthy population of falcons in that area. We had a few come back last year that were ripped up, or either falcon attacks or hit power lines, if some of you guys remember that. So we're going to try and avoid that this season. And so we'll just shut them in there because I need to change out the water. Hey, come on, back in there. I need to change this water out, so I've done 24 hours on the moxidocin, which is for mice, worms, and then what I'm going to do is put them on the Doxy T today as well, which it's probably a bit close together, but I want to toss the birds this weekend, so I just want to give them a final clean out, and we'll do the same for these young ones as well, and then that's basically it. Alrighty, let's have a bit of a look. A little red checker come back a little bit late. Those ones have been fed, everyone's been fed. Water bowl, or the water drinker thing is in there. So just doing the hens for canker, and I've got, what did I put in there? That's Doxy T, and also Doxy T over there, both for their airways, and hopefully these guys will be in as good seed as they can be for the upcoming season. So that'll probably be the last time I probably give them any medication. I don't really like medication this year. I've kind of gone off it a bit, but I'm just, given that we are significantly behind due to the falcons and things like that, it's any little bit of edge that we can get, I'm definitely going to try. So that's why I've lent a bit more into the medication more than I normally do. But we'll see how we go. The old birds and the younger ones on the depurative system, so hopefully that also helps them get a little bit of a move on. What's 83 doing up there? He's paired up with the ugly hen. He's just chilling up the back there. Hoping there's not an egg there. Oh, you're lucky. And it's not a bad little, I don't know if it's a red checker or like a mealy. It is a mealy, I think. This is going to be a really good little short distance bird. This one is like a little ball of muscle. It's not huge, but it's really, really strong. And you won't get side on so we can see him a bit better. Is very wary, but most of these they're pretty much all ready to go. Actually, these are all siblings here. They're all off the red checker cock, so the shorter stuff, they should be pretty good. When she was paired up, he was paired up to the blue bar pied hen, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. We'll do what we can do. Everyone's relaxing. We've all had baths today as well, so the birds should be super relaxed. And there's Speedy Blue Grizzle, starting to look really good, so hopefully this guy will make it to the season as well. And the breeders, not much going on here at the moment. I had to take out 2 more cock birds. I had to take out King from up the top there, and who else did we take out? I had another cock up here as well, the dark checkered pied one, just because there are only 2 hens in here, which are in these 2 boxes, which is going to happen, it's inevitable, but we're going to try and make it easy as possible. So the hen from down here, she paired up and she was up in this box again. She's done that before. She's a bit of a character, that one. That's her over there. So I took that cock out just so she can try and finish off our Pattaya birds, because I don't need any more close calls with them, I tell you. And these 2, the hen, she paired up with King that was up there, so I took King out, and hopefully that she's only focusing on getting these babies done, and then we can fully take out all the hens, and then we'll just pick out the 9 cocks that we want to use, and we'll get them into boxes and just lock them, sort of, not lock them in, but just get them used to the boxes that they're going to be in, so when we do come to breeding season we have less fighting, which we were pretty good in this loft last year. Well, this breeding season just been, but you know, what's Apache up to? He's not as aggressive when he doesn't have a hen in the nest. Look at him. But he is starting to sharpen up a little bit too, which is good to see. We'll have a look at these little babies. These ones doing pretty well. See how they turn out over the next week or two when they start to shape up a bit better. But the only ones I really want to look at is the potato ones, which are down here. Oh, I tell you what, look at that little slate there. It's almost like a barless, isn't it? The other slate we've got's a checker, but this looks like a slate, like a blue bar kind of slate. So a slate bar, I don't know what you call it. But yeah, really cool. Wasn't really aiming to get anything overly interesting into potato, but it kind of looks like we did. These are getting a fair bit of good food in there too, which is good to see. The father can look after them, no problem at all, but I really kind of want that mother in there as well, just to give these guys that absolute best chance they can. But it's a real beautiful little pigeon, this one. Not huge, which doesn't bother me. I don't want big ones. Because I've noticed out of the 4 pigeons that we've had either hit or gone missing, I think we've had 5 and 1 come back. So 4 of those were actually the Veenstra crosses. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It's odd. This one's actually quite nice too. I don't know if it's they're just a bit bigger and they just can't maneuver away from the falcons as well. I don't really know what it is. They are a lot bigger than the other birds I've got, so it's interesting. I'm sort of keeping an eye on this kind of stuff. Beautiful wing on that one. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's just, I think the bigger birds are just a lot slower to deal with the falcons. But see how we go. Let's look at 3 of a kind, because he is looking super. He's got a couple more flights to fall on him, and then he's almost done. But I'd say I'm 95% sure this one's going to be a cock, and I think the nestmate is as well, so we'll have to wait and see. But he is turning out to be a really, really nice bird, this one. See you guys in the next video. Let's get these birds ready for a few short tosses.